Human rights are the rights and freedoms that are inherent to all human beings, regardless of sex, race, nationality, ethnicity, religion, language, or any other status. Everyone is entitled to these rights, without discrimination. In 1215, King John of England was forced to sign the Magna Carta, the first document that gave rights to a specific group of people. But the real moment of birth of the idea of human rights is the age of Enlightenment, when the legitimization of rule changed radically. After the American Civil War, the Declaration of Independence was written in 1776, beginning with, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal." In 1789 came the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a fundamental document of the French Revolution and in the history of human and civil rights. Freedom, equality, and fraternity were the principles of this revolution. Those changes that happened around the world and the documents signed were the precursors of today's human rights. Many of those documents excluded most of the human beings, and there was no document assuring peace in the world. In 1914 came World War I, which lasted until 1918. The idea of human rights emerged stronger after World War II. The extermination by Nazi Germany of over 6 million Jews, Sinti and Romani, homosexuals, and persons with disabilities horrified the world. After that, 51 countries founded the United Nations in 1945, with the commitment of maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress, better living standards, and human rights. The United Nations has different organs. The Security Council and the General Assembly are the most important. The Security Council is like the executive of the UN. It consists of 50 member states and the permanent 5, Russia, Great Britain, China, France, and the USA. The General Assembly consists of every state that is a member of the UN, so almost every state. The Assembly can establish resolutions like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights recognizes the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family. And these are the foundations of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. The individual rights are interpreted differently depending on the concept of life around the world. Still, the most basic human rights, like the prohibition of slavery and torture, are universal and don't leave room for a different interpretation. The first article of the Declaration of Human Rights says that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights.